A very happy new year to everyone around the world. It's already 2022 in Australia and East Asia. And this hour, Pakistan is ringing in the new year. Well, even as coronavirus continues to upend our lives, many cities around the world are finding familiar ways to celebrate.
4, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year!
新年快乐!
Hong Kong counting down the new year with fireworks and a concert from the city's Philharmonic Orchestra. Well, Singapore lit the night skies with a light show and fireworks at Marina Bay Sands. And New Zealand celebrated the end of 2021 with a fireworks display over the Auckland Harbour Bridge. And Australia welcomed in the new year with a huge fireworks display above Sydney Harbour Bridge. But even with the celebrations, the pandemic is again following us into the new year. Omicron is now the dominant variant in France, and some cities, including Paris, have brought back mask mandates outside ahead of New Year's festivities. Well, the US and the UK are both shattering records for new daily case counts. But there is some optimism. South Africa is easing restrictions just in time for the New Year, saying the country is likely past the peak of its fourth wave. And the World Health Organization says we may see the end of the pandemic in the new year, but only if everyone has equal access to vaccines.
The acute phase of the pandemic that's been associated with the tragedy of deaths and hospitalizations, that can end in 2022. The virus itself is very unlikely to go away completely and will probably settle down into a pattern of transmission, low level, causing occasional outbreaks in under-vaccinated populations. And we hope that that is the end game here. But we're certainly not there yet.
Well, joining me now is CNN reporter Salma Abdelaziz in London and CNN medical correspondent Elizabeth Cohen. Good to have you both with us. I'll start with you, Elizabeth, because the CDC has looked at the latest data and has made a forecast saying that 44,000 Americans will die of COVID-19 in the next 4 weeks. Heading into the new year, we're certainly heading into the third year of this pandemic.
Yes, I think many of us thought, well, things are getting better, and Omicron swept in and changed everything. The problem isn't that Omicron is so deadly in and of itself. It's that there are so many cases. Cases are just so high in the United States that even a small percentage of people getting sick is still a substantial number, Linda. So let's take a look at this CDC forecast. So the CDC estimates or forecasts that by mid-January, we're gonna have 17,400 new hospitalizations per day in the U.S. To put that in perspective, currently we have about 9,400 new hospitalizations per day, so way more hospitalizations in the future. And they estimate that in the next 4 weeks, we'll have 45,000 or more deaths. To put that in context, that's way more than what we've had in the last 4 weeks. And a typical flu year is about 12,000 to 52,000. So 45,000 deaths in 4 weeks is like having a really bad flu season all in 4 weeks. Linda?
Yeah, insane. Very dire predictions. I'll come back to you in just a moment, Elizabeth. I want to go to Salma in London because, again, day after day, as we've been discussing all week, record after record being broken for the number of infections where you are. It doesn't really feel like a day of celebration.
The Omicron variant is yet again breaking its own records in this country. It's absolutely worrying to health officials. The Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, used his end-of-year message, Linda, to urge people to get their third shot, to urge people to get boosted, and also used that message to make sure everyone is cautious about their New Year's Eve plans. The Prime Minister saying, think twice about where you're going, think twice about your social gatherings, try to get tested before you leave the house. Everyone is at stake here. And he had a very personal message for those who have yet to get boosted. Take a listen. Apologies, I think we don't have that soundbite this hour. Sorry for that, Linda. But to just summarize, he again was directly speaking to those who are yet to be vaccinated, urging people to get their third shot, saying that that is the layer of protection that this country needs ahead of yet another surge in cases. And that's exactly why the National Health Service says it's on a war footing here, Linda. They've set up plans for a potential wave of Omicron patients. Surge hubs are being set up in 8 hospitals across England to allow more space for more patients. Surge hub beds are also being set up across the country. It comes as the London mayor has cancelled big planned fireworks celebration. But here's the key caveat, Linda. Private restrictions, there's not that many. I can hear fireworks behind me here. There are parties outside of London. That's what's going to worry health officials. All these gatherings, people coming together. Is that going to exacerbate this Omicron surge, Linda?
Yeah, exactly, Salma. And as you were mentioning there, the Prime Minister pointing out the need to get booster shots, I want to ask Elizabeth about that here in the United States, because I understand the US Food and Drug Administration is considering the approval of booster shots for children, those aged 12 to 15.
Right, so sources tell CNN that that could happen very, very soon. Right now in the United States, 16 and older can get boosters when they're 6 months or more past their second shot, but 12 to 15 can't. So that's likely going to change very soon. Once it does change, 4 million children that age have reached that 6 month plus point and they could get boosted, and that's great. And then there's another 4 to 5 million who could get it soon. But that 8 million is actually a relatively small number, and here's what I mean. More than a third of children that age haven't even gotten one shot. So, forget about the booster for a minute. We need to get those kids their first shots, and that has not happened. More than 1/3 have not gotten even a first shot.
Wow, yeah, that is clearly a message that needs to get out. And Salma, in the midst of all this doom and gloom, give us some hope. What's some hope for us as we head into 2022?
Linda, I was looking for that sparkle of optimism somewhere. This is not the year that we expected, right? This is the year that started out with vaccinations and the promise and hope that they brought of a potential end to the pandemic, a potential protection for our loved ones. And here we are closing out the year yet again under the shadow of yet another variant of COVID-19. But the chief of the World Health Organization posted on social media that he's optimistic about the next year. And that's because he believes if we continue to fight vaccine inequity, if we make vaccines available equally, fairly across the world, then we can really beat back this deadly virus. His recommendation was 70% of all people in each country, if they were vaccinated, that would spell the end of COVID-19. He said that's his personal goal as the chief of the World Health Organization, but I think that's going to be the big issue to tackle here, Linda, going into the next year. Some countries, like the UK, where we are privileged, we're looking at our third shots here, whereas other countries haven't even received one. That will be the big challenge going into the next year if we want to end this pandemic. Linda.
Exactly. Vaccines need to be more widely available and people need to take those shots. Salma Abdelaziz for us in London. A very happy New Year to you and our Elizabeth Cohen here in the US. Thanks so much. Happy New Year.